ToyLeet Assembly. Step up, see flash is the ToyLeet crew. We're the kings of the game, yeah, the chosen few. From the shadows we rise with the rarest finds. Collect them, respect them, we're one of a kind. ToyLeet, reign the streets, elite with the feats in this collectible feast. ToyLeet, never discreet, when the heart of the beat, where our playmates meet. Check our stacks, our collection supreme. Limited editions, every collector's dream. We're the myths, we're the legends, with every drop. Taking over the block, we never stop. In the alleys where the headrooms bleed. ToyLeet's the name, hear what we say. Rising, thriving, always vibing. In our realm we're always diving. ToyLeet, reign in the street, the live ToyLeets. Stand in the base, with a snap on the case and a click of the lock. ToyLeet's on top and we're ready to rock. Collecting more than just toys, we're up. We're up. We're up.
Hey, we made it.
You guys hear me? My audible.
You're audible.
Awesome. And we actually we should probably announce this to everyone, right, Ed? We recently signed up for a Punkwood Toys how to get subscriber counts increased. It's a paid subscription. He only charges $2,000 annually. You can use special code ToyLeet on his chat during his shows on Mondays and Thursday nights, and he'll take care of you. You can give credit to us, but it advises people to just show up a little later than normal and fire off just a little after your original scheduled time to let the suspense build up. So
he's taught us everything he knows, and we still don't know shit.
Exactly. So we're hoping to attend his live seminar next month.
Yeah.
He said he will be hosting that at the Ohio State University campus in one of their dormitories. And he's very excited. So you too can be in attendance and learn how to start your show late like him to draw in viewers. No, I kid. We're late.
One of the best highlights of the show is that he's going to be all hopped up on steroids. So that way it was easy to sidetrack, easy to piss off. It's all good.
I think you confused. It wasn't steroids. He was going to be hyped up on stairs so you could see him over the crowd.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
No, I kid. How you doing, Ed? How you? I just wanted everybody to know that was all kind of like that was from the cuff. This was not planned. We just kind of, I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
That's pretty good.
It all fell together. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing great, man. I got myself a cup of jasmine tea.
Oh, good deal.
Still fucking cold here. Jesus Christmas.
Good deal.
Works, bitch. But other than that, man, I'm fucking great,
That's awesome, dude.
Fucking old now. Shit, dude. I'm 29 years old. Fucking old.
Yeah. I got a few years on you, man. Turned 40 last year myself, so I remember what it was like to be 29 once. I remember. No,
I don't.
Yeah. Life is busy, man. Life is hectic. Dude, my weekend was awesome. I'm just gonna. I know we don't want to dive into this, because this isn't a wrestling podcast. But it was Royal Rumble weekend, and I didn't get to watch it at home with my boys, because I had to go to my daughter's cheer thing, which was fine because I'm going to be missing one of her cheer things coming up next month.
How'd she do? First of all,
she did good. I will say that from her, this is her varsity team at the school, and she's competed on like all-star teams and traveled all over the country, and competed, at Worlds, and before COVID was supposed to compete at Worlds again. So she's really good. Her team is doing really well. It's actually, in my opinion, it's the high school she goes to from what I've ever seen, it's their best varsity cheer team talent-wise, top to bottom, that I've ever seen. To the point where in the past they've had situations where they can only do certain move sets and stuff because of the entire team skill. But this year they're all like really good, and the routine they do, in my opinion, is the best routine I've seen them do in her high school varsity program, even when she wasn't on varsity. Just everything, the moves and things that they're doing. They didn't hit everything successfully this past week. But I do believe, and I said to my daughter over the week, I said, "You guys look great out there. You guys are doing amazing stuff. Some things didn't hit the way you wanted it to, but if you guys shore that up and hit it the way you guys can, there's no reason they shouldn't win first place every single week, because what they're doing is so much more like skill level wise than the other teams at their level." So we have a competition tomorrow night, so hoping that she does well again tomorrow. And they all hit their moves and stuff and whatnot. But it was great. I only really paid attention to her. I had my headphones on, my phone in front of me, and I was streaming Royal Rumble because her thing went on until about 8:30. And the wrestling show was on at 6. My boys were at home watching it without me. I was getting messages from them letting me know what was happening, though I was watching it. And I had to tell my youngest son, "Look, I'm watching it. And every time you text me, it pops up in front of my screen to see what's happening." To which, when I eventually got home to watch it, I caught the last, I think it was like, there was a men's rumble. It was the main event. It's the last match. And I think I started watching it at home with them at around the 10th entry or something.
That reminded me when I went down to see my daughter graduate from her military police school in San Antonio in October. I'm watching it, and my ex-wife is texting me like every 5 minutes. "How you doing? Are you taping it?" I'm like, I'm videoing this on my phone, but your pop-ups keep interrupting the video.
Yeah, no, good deal. Yeah, it's how that works, right? But yeah, so it was good. We watched Rumble. It was great. I'm really looking forward to Elimination Chamber up in Toronto in a few weeks, where I will be. So if any viewers are going to be there, hit me up, because I will be there with my ToyLeet pack. A few of us, my boys and my nephew and my brother-in-law will all be up there.
You taking money in the bank case with you?
No, I'm going to leave that at home. I'm actually going to try to sneak into the Elimination Chamber and win. And you don't need money in the bank for that. The money in the bank I will save. So if I have to cash in at a later time because I'm unsuccessful in the Elimination Chamber. But I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Going to take Cena out?
What's that?
I said you're going to try taking John Cena out?
There's no try. There's just do.
Okay.
And I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Just give him a noogie on his bald spot. You'll be all set.
I just figured he wouldn't. I just figured the hardest part would be I might not see him, but with the reflection off the lights off that spot, guaranteed.
Yep. You got to look for, man, is that blind spot. Whoa.
Exactly. No, so it was a good weekend. Just busy at work and stuff. Did a little bit of work over the weekend. Work this week. It's hectic, man. You think things are slowing down. I got to go live tomorrow night for one of my clients. Things are good, man. I don't have any plastic toys to
I got a few things in.
Did you? What'd you got?
Yeah. So got home today and I had a present on my doorstep. This is Mezco's. It's called Bricks and Bread.
Oh, so man, that's gold. That's the Kraken money, right?
Yeah, it's the gold bars and the cash, and then it's got duffel bags and stuff. My buddy Rob, the Teflon, sent that to me for my birthday. So that's I was excited about that. And then what else did I get? I got these in from Radnom. He made these 2 filing cabinets and a desk that goes with it.
That's clean, dude. Those look good.
Yeah, they came out really nice.
I did send you a message. I sent you a message in the private chat to remind myself of something regarding that money pack and stuff.
Okay.
You don't have to look at it now, but for later. That's cool. That desk is really good.
Yeah, the desk came out clean, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna make one, and I remember that Radnom had those. I was like, dude, tell me how much for those and a couple filing cabinets, and we made a deal and came to it. Then I got a bunch of they're all Veliver's weapons. I picked them up from Ken Poe. I got the tin that he had, that crimson.
Yeah. The money thing, or the Not the money thing, the weapons pack.
Yeah, the weapons pack. Trust the Screamer's partner in crime that he does the show with there. What the hell's his name? What was that guy's name? Junkion. Junkion Crafts and Builds. He was looking for just the tin. So him and Ken made a deal for the tin part of it.
Oh, you were saying that last week, right?
And then Ken, I talked to Ken about the weapons, and look at that. Look at that box of goodies.
This is a donation box. It's I went through Son of Wonder's room over the weekend, and this is the only plastic I got to play with. I went through and helped him sort through things and grabbed everything back. Grabbed everything that he doesn't use anymore that's just been floating around in random bins. I also helped him sort out all the Marvel Legends he had confiscated from my eldest son's room, and found about, I want to say like 24 of them with their heads popped off. Oh. And I looked at him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Where are all the heads for these guys? And he's like, oh, I don't know. They're in there somewhere. So we sat through and went through all of his bins and stuff. And I found most of them. There's a couple I still have to locate. I know they're in one of his bins in the closet that I didn't get to. But, come to find out, and he had, because the way it works in this household is Power Rangers, Star Wars are in his room. He does keep some things like some miscellaneous stuff like, that he's collected, but like all the Marvel Legends, they collectively go to my oldest's room because he had the largest Legends set. And even if my youngest, unless it's like a Loki figure, for the most part, they get all stored together just because it's easy to know where they all are. But there must have been 200 figures in my youngest son's room we were going through.
Son of Wonder, man. He's going on to become quite the collector.
Well, yeah, my oldest was he's like, Dad, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm putting these away for you. I went through Chase's room and figured them out. And he's like, thanks, I appreciate it. He's like, I pretty much had given up on that. And I was like, I had a long conversation with the little dude and told him he's got to treat this with more respect. I said, he's like, yeah, Dad. He's like, but he broke a bunch. I was like, no, believe it or not, he didn't break a bunch. He just misplaced a lot of the heads and the hands, and I was able to find them all, most of them. I said, there's a couple here that I need to sort through and find, but I will. But I said, the reason their heads are always missing is because he can get the heads off.
Yeah.
But when he attempts to put them on, because he likes to swap them, some of them are harder to put on than others. And as we know, they don't always fit everyone. He doesn't know this until he gets it off in experiments.
Right.
And a lot of them were Spider-Man figures. He's got Toxin and Carnage and Venom, and he's got that whole wave of all of those different figures that have like the Venom experience on them or whatever it might be. And the neck pegs, believe it or not, are really, really weak. They're really soft in the sense that like they just have a back to front motion, like a hinge joint there, but they're weak and they move every time you try to move them. And it's hard to put back on. So come to find out, he just couldn't put them all back on. So that's why they were all missing. So I explained to him, we're not going to do this anymore. And he's like, well, when I try to, he's like, sometimes I feel like I'm going to break it. And I was like, well, I'm happy you didn't break them. So like, you're better off that, like he, unlike me, because I would have bullied that through when I was a kid and I would have snapped a neck peg for sure. I might've been known to have done that once or twice to a leg peg on an A-walk, again, my own effect, but so we went through that, spent some time, and I got this whole bin that I'm just going to take to like, there's like an in-town like donation place. And I mean, some of it's probably garbage, but I just was like, maybe somebody
bag them up in, 5-figure bags and sell them for a couple of bucks. And
and I figured, I'll just drop it off there, let them have it. So I just got to pack it up and bring it down. It's in a box. So that was the plastic I got to play with this weekend. I feel like I bought something, but I don't know what it is. I'm
sure you bought something, but while you're thinking about that, let's run through the chat and say hi to everybody since we got quite a few people hanging out here.
Absolutely.
First in the box tonight was War Chest Full of Toys, already up in this chat. Love it. And then Menhoza showed off a pretty cool picture today on Instagram. I had to share it. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, cool.
Of like leather-clad knight dude kind of thing, that type of figure. It was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Don't know any of the details on it, but it looked really damn good. So I had to share that shit. And Oz is here. What's up, Oz? Hello, friends. And then there's this guy.
Oh, I'm ready.
Comes the money.
Here we go.
Come on, start.
Here comes the money. Money.
We're starting. Jesus, we're starting. My God. He's
so punk. How's it going, brother?
He's so pushy.
Dude, he knows that. It helps build the anticipation. That's like That's this is rule 101.
I
Make sure you
know.
got a guy in the chat that's bumping everybody up before you even get there. He's your hype man.
Yes, Oz. Travis and I were busy checking out our hair in each other's cameras to make sure it looked good. And Kenzo's Creations here. What's up, everyone? What's up, Kenzo? And I was saying I must be playing with my Muff Toys Clark Kent, that is. 3-star draw. What's up, brother? I drive all the way over here from a Punk with Toys and it's deserted. Jeez.
Oh man, that's tough.
And Oz, no, I didn't. It's not my fault. I was ready to go at 8:30. It's all Travis's fault. He was busy trying to get his sideburns and his beard right, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Patrick Fu is here. What's up, Fu?
What's up, dude? Hey, Patrick. Thanks for reaching out the other day. By the way, I appreciate the conversation. Good dude. I know he messaged me on the side. We were chatting and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I just give you a hard time, right?" I'm like, "Man, that is my life. My closest friends is all we do is give each other a hard time." I actually realized that over the last probably 8 years or so that sometimes we got to soften the blows with some of our friends because sometimes the newer ones don't quite know that we're just pulling punches.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Fatrid, you're awesome, dude. I appreciate
That's how my friends and I decide who really likes who, because if the meaner you are, the more you're actually like the dude.
So we just had a new hire start at the company, and my wife runs the HR department there.
Yeah.
And she had a new person. She had one of her reports walk the new folk around, and the new person was in HR, and they basically said, "Hey, if he gives you a hard time, it means you're in. Like once he gives you some smart comment, you're in at the company." So I was like, I guess. I mean, and I said something to her like immediately, and they started laughing. So you're in. You're covered. Yeah. So yeah, that's the way it goes.
Toy Enhancer, what's up, Aaron?
What's up, Aaron? Aaron.
Aaron. And Ian Sweeney's here. What's up, Ian? Thanks for coming by.
What's up, man?
We got some more down here at the bottom. Punk said he would still be the smartest guy at OSU if he was to give him a speech there.
I mean, based on what Punk has told us about the OSU, right? Like, wouldn't that not be saying much?
That's true, right?
I mean,
it's kind of like saying, you're the biggest goldfish in the pond when you're in a small pond with a bunch of little goldfish, right? It really doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
it's kind of like when Punk is buried in his bed with all those my buddies from the wrestling things, and he's an inch bigger than the smallest one, and he's like, "I'm the biggest guy." Dude, you're still just the size of a plush stuffed animal.
Yeah. Put him in a pair of overalls, he could be my buddy, my buddy. Aaron said, "Yeah, he's 29 in the hair." Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that. I got more hair than you. And Clinton Jorgensen is here. Was pumped for the men's winner, but not so much the winners. Talking about the Royal Rumble.
Yeet. I agree, Clint. And I think if you watched Raw last night, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything for you. If you did catch Raw, which I was multitasking on with my buddy Punk with Toys Monday Night Show, I was pulling an old WCW flip back and forth to Nitro and Raw, and it was Punk with Toys and Raw. So you will agree, Clint, that Charlotte was getting no love from anyone because nobody gives a crap about her. She gets the worst reception from the crowd, which was hysterical.
I thought Charlotte was done for now.
She was injured. She came back at Royal Rumble. It was her debut.
You figured they stopped pushing her. Of course, she can't because she's a Flair. But
she's a Flair, and that was the thing. So they had her win the Rumble, first woman to win the second time and stuff, and nobody cared.
Oz says you coach cheer and judge hard. Heard he makes the kids cry like the Gordon Ramsay of cheerleading. Are you a fucking idiot?
No.
Would you call that a flip?
You call that a cartwheel? You call that a cartwheel? That's not even a cart. It's not even a cart, you moron. No,
that'd be awesome. See Gordon Ramsay coach a bunch of young kids. That'd be awesome.
So my daughter was going to a tumbling program, and when we first started going there, it was during COVID. He was running things. Whatever, Matthew. Yeah, I don't know college football. I pay attention to the pros, buddy. But you're right. Yes, your reference there is true. It's Ohio State, right? I think that's the one he hates. But the coach for my daughter, he's kind of got like that. What's the guy's name from Johnny Lawrence from the more recent Cobra Kai shows, where basically you expect him to look at one of these girls and go, You don't have asthma. You don't need an inhaler, and chuck it across the room. He very much had that approach early on with the program when we first started going there. And I just, because of that, I was like, oh, this guy's great. Like, this is, I mean, he was good. He held him accountable, but it was very comical to some degree. It's like, yeah. So
Alice Troy, greetings. Travis, how does it feel being traded to the Lakers? I'm not sure what that's supposed to be in reference to.
I'm assuming he's talking about Luka Don.
I don't know what that.
Something. He's a basketball player. I don't
Yeah.
follow basketball. I did see it just because it was.
He's
in the
talking
stream.
sports ball. That's why we're all confused.
Yeah, I don't really follow basketball though. Like that's just not my thing.
Thanos Copter, what's up?
I mean, I assume that trade happened because LeBron's going to get locked up with Diddy in May, so they need some support in LA moving forward. But we won't go down that rabbit hole. Though I did watch that Netflix or special over the weekend, which was interesting.
And Graf is here. Howdy, y'all. Glad to see I wasn't the only one that fled the Punk with Toy stream. Yeah, he gets boring after a while. He just talks and talks and talks, and no one understands what he's fucking saying. It's just a disaster over there. Legend Series, what's up, Tony? And let's see. I know Skunkworks is here. Jeff, what's up, brother? Jeff
did you say Legend Series is here?
Yeah, Legend Series.
Yeah, I was checking his show out last week and stuff. He's after the Helidope show.
Yeah.
I think I caught him on a Sunday night. He's fun to listen to, man.
Yeah.
He has one of the best Macho Man impressions in the business. I love it.
I keep telling Punk that, instead of like when he had the thing for like the membership chats, the free ones you get for like how long you've been a member of the channel, right? I told him he should have got Tony to do like the cream rises to the top, that thing that's Macho Man.
Listen, brother. Yeah. I can't do it. I don't do it justice. He does
Macho Man very well. But
does
Tony does
really
awesome,
good.
Macho Man. Anyway, Skunk Jeff will be a guest on a Punk with Toys later on this month. I'm not exactly sure what day. On Thursday with a friend. He'll be Thursday with a friend later on this in February. And thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. I will be looking forward to that.
Got a nice.
From Jeff. And the Brickster is here. What's up, Brick?
Brick.
And Menhoz is saying thanks for sharing the picture. No problem, dude. That was awesome. I love that figure. I would definitely put that figure in my collection. And Matthew, of course, correcting you as Matthew corrects everyone. So don't feel bad. He corrected Hasbro and Valaverse and probably every other company.
Why would he do that? Why is he such a diva?
He's just a Mr. Know-It-All diva,
No, I'm just kidding.
We all love Matthew.
Right, right. No, absolutely.
Oh, Travis, Kenzo says you look like Luka
I saw that
with the beard. Okay,
I saw that. I play for, at this point, I was told I look like one of the guys from like the Niners. I think Nick Bosa or somebody like that, or one of those guys. And then now Luke, if I could get their paychecks, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, right.
I can give you the routing numbers, guys. Just like send it over.
Jeff saying if we're talking about conspiracy theories, he wants in when you mentioned the whole thing about the LeBron.
Good deal.
Matthew says Gordon Ramsay judging kids is hilarious. And then we got Payne's toy samples. What's up, Payne?
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
And we are now ToyTube official because the Nolan, the one and only, is joining the chat.
Brother?
And I think everybody's in talking. Jeff or Brick saying to Jeff, just saw the Microman Repro, hit me with the nostalgia. Yeah, Jeff does a lot of Microman rebuilds and stuff like that. So
good job.
Let's pump the brakes on calling that a beard. Jeff's beard is probably down to his belly button.
Yeah,
close now. So.
I'm lucky. There's like patches and stuff. I mean, like my brother is like just a few years younger than me, and if he's on the stream, he still can't even grow this.
Yeah, you got that fair complexion. That's not really,
Yeah, I mean, this in my family, this is a solid beard. Even my dad to this day, like he's made comments to me, and he's like, "Man, I wish I could grow a beard like you," and I'm like this is shaggily, like I'm just hanging on. I barely a beard. I think that's what we should call it. It's barely a beard. That's what I have. So
really, it's a lot of just penciled in stuff, though, right?
I have makeup done. That's how I go.
And last but not least is Gaz. What's up, Gaz? Thanks for stopping in, brother.
Hey, Gaz, welcome.
Nice to see you.
Don't know if I've seen the name before, but thank you for joining.
He was on Punk with Toys Friends Thursday with a friend a couple weeks ago, and Gaz is always like hanging out around the clubhouse and stuff. He's a good guy.
Good deal. Oh, so I'm gonna get into the clubhouse again here soon. It's been a bit. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while since you were actually on live with us. Yeah.
I pop in, say hi, but yeah.
All right, man.
So-
that's it for the chat. For
Cool.
now.
Well, so we didn't even touch this, but for those that are just joining, maybe one of the first times, he's Ed Akxion Figs.
And that over there is the beautiful Mr. Wonderful, aka
Barely bearded.
Travis, the
Yes.
Mr. Wonderful.
And together we're the
ToyLeet
ToyLeet.
for
Yeah.
life.
So we get together every week, once a week. This is like 5 weeks in a row, I think,
know, dude.
or something like that.
It's killing
And,
me, man. It's making me tired.
I agree. But we get together, we talk toys, we talk plastic passion. We always come in with a topic. This week's topic is convention countdowns. We're going to talk about some of the bigger conventions we're interested in this year, some of the things that you could focus on while you're at those conventions. And then we always do our little kind of round the horn. We do our shout out from the crick, which is a throwback to Ed's origination of this show and the stream with his son. And we shout out somebody in the community that's doing some cool stuff. Sometimes, more often than not, but this week and last week we didn't have a ToyLeet or toilet segment where we talk about dumping things down the toilet that are plastic junk. And then we also talk about weekly news. We focus on the independent toys. We do not necessarily dive into all of the, Marvel Legends and, Mattel and Hasbro lines. We collect those. We have those. But there's plenty of other guys that talk and chat about that and spend hours upon hours prepping hours upon hours of video and streams to go through those shows on Monday night, the night before.
Yeah, there's
us.
some guy that makes it his whole topic and, wants to talk about the Awe Striker and how awesome it is and how much better than the Gridiron Props one it is. And,
Yeah.
goes off
And-
on these tangents, bitching about people bitching for, an hour about people bitching. It's amazing.
Yep. So we do that. And, we going to jump right on in, but just want to bring those up to speed that are just joining us for the first time. So we appreciate you guys. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. I think it's all rigged up here. If I got this going
Yes,
properly.
he is, Matthew. Yes, he is.
Who is me?
No, that's Punk.
Oh.
Special.
Yes.
Special.
So again, we already covered this. We're going to be focusing on, the countdown, the convention to prepping, 2020 convention countdown, prepping for 2025's biggest events. We're talking ToyLanta, we're talking JoeFest, we're talking Legions Con, we're talking ZoloCon, and I think that's it. We might cover some other ones that are just kind of on the radar without big details, but mainly focus on those. So stick around. We'll get there, and it won't take us 3 hours.
2 hours and 50 minutes. That's right. It won't take us that long.
Exactly.
We'll actually be through the topic, through the show.
We're shouting out to those who know. Spreading joy, sharing love to elite fam. You rise above. Shout out from the creek, you're the best. Hype up the heroes who've passed the test. Community stars shining bright. Lifting each other, it feels so right.
I'm so fast to click the button all the time on you, Ed. I'm sorry.
I know you do it every time, but it's a gig now, right? It's a thing.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say we could be through the show and in bed sleeping by the time Punk actually got to the topic.
Yeah, that's probably the case. That's probably how it will be.
So this week's shout out from the crick goes to the man, the myth, the legend, Kenzo's Creation. Kenzo started doing lives, I want to say just a couple months ago, like his own on Wednesday nights. Goes on about 9 o'clock our time, Eastern time, 10 o'clock maybe. But does a great show, talks about different stuff, a lot of Motu stuff, some of the stuff he just, bullshits through with as far as like what he's been 3D printing and all sorts of stuff like that. Shows off some cool stuff and just, Kenzo's a great guy too. I mean, the dude spends most of his nights taking care of his very, very elderly grandmother who's like 101 or 103, something like that. So, he hangs out with her. He's always on the clubhouse with us. Great guy. He just broke 1,000, but, Kenzo still needs some watch hours. So he's got to get those watch hours up. So if you're not subscribed to Kenzo or watching his stuff, go over there, stop in, just watch a video, give him a little bit of watch hour time. And Kenzo's definitely a guy that deserves it. So shout out to you, Kenzo. You're doing awesome stuff, brother.
Yeah, awesome. And I'll be honest, I've watched Kenzo's stuff a bunch. I wasn't subscribed to him until I went and screen capped this. So Kenzo, I subscribed today, and my apologies. Was just an oversight on my side. Sometimes I feel like I get unsubscribed to things that I feel like I was subscribed to at one time or another. So
It happens.
I
thought I was subscribed to Punk for a year, and then because like I watched his stuff, so it always came up. And then the one day we were talking, and he's like about subscribers, and I like went over to this page. I was like, "Shit, I'm not even subscribed, dude, but I see your stuff constantly." So like,
I always try to unsubscribe to that one.
Yeah.
I swear, Punk is like he purposely just tries to like be a hard ass because he picks Monday and Thursday night. Well, when I was a kid, Monday night was Raw, Thursday night was like Nitro, was Thunder and SmackDown. So I feel like he's just trying to antagonize the wrestler in me to boycott his stuff.
Yeah.
But I somehow find my way into those streams. Thank you for the shout out last night, Punk. Really appreciate it. And again, I hope your daughter's doing good and creating more birthday cards for people way cooler than us. So good deal.
Still got my birthday card up on the fridge. It's where it'll stay
Awesome.
for quite a while. So
Awesome. And I hope you get her one of those t-shirts, Punk. I'm still waiting for you to request that awesome logo. So
yeah, I get that logo.
So Kenzo, awesome. Great. Thank you very much for what you do in the community, what you do. Hopefully we can get your watch hours up. I know your subs are increasing.
Yeah.
So good luck, dude. And keep doing the stuff that you do, man.
Yeah, keep going, man. You're going to do great. You'll be awesome. Before we hit the news, Travis, let's run through. We got three.
You slowed me down.
I know. I jumped ahead of you. Nomad's here saying, "Sup, suckers?" And
ooh, I wish I had a story for that.
I was saying that you sit in your office all day drawing your beard on with a Sharpie.
I do. That's exactly what it is. And can we go back to that last one?
Which one?
The one from the guy before.
This guy?
Yeah, it's my cheap knockoff version of Booker T's "Can You Dig It, Sucker?" Yeah, so I'll give it to him.
We'll give it to him. And then our buddy, the Roll Keeper, showed up finally. He's not even first or even close to first today.
Yeah.
Oh, he started a new job.
Oh,
trying to figure out work-life balance. But congratulations on the new job, brother. It's all good. When we'll be here when you get it all figured out. It's all good, man.
Absolutely.
That takes a long time. Travis and I have been working the same job. Travis has been working the same job for a long time, and I've only started mine 7 months ago. I'm still trying to figure shit out. So
7.5 years ago, man. 7.5 years ago now or so. So yeah, it's been a bit. So good deal. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go on to the next one, which is gonna take us into.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. We're gonna take a look into the news this week. Our boy over there, the audio from Realm.
Frankie.
Oh, that's what it was. I just realized it. I did order some more plastic this weekend. I was watching Royal Rumble, and I got a bunch more elites or ultimates.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing.
Yep, awesome. So news. AWOC has officially announced as of today. I think it was today. I saw it today. That you can now download the digital versions of their comic graphic novel from their website. They are now available again for sale. So I have officially purchased comic book number 5, the digital copy, because I have not gotten my paper copy in the mail. I'm hoping, or not in the mail, at the local comic shop. I'm hoping to stop in there this week sometime and pick it up. I will still get my paper copies, but I have the digital one. So guess what I'm reading tonight before I go to bed? Yes. Number 5, because I need to understand how that, arc wraps up, as I've been waiting. And Adam and Brick have vehemently made me feel like crap whenever they've reminded me that they've had access to book number 5 for over a year now, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you think, a double backer of series 2 would have
you think you get some special privileges or something, right?
Nothing.
Come on.
Nothing. But yes, I have it now. So if you're looking to get it and you're not somebody who picks up the paper copies, Spiro Toys has that available for there on their website.
Yeah, I think it went up last night or yesterday evening, something like that. So
I only saw it today, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, purchase that one. So yeah. Next is just a quick update from the Cursed Dead. So this one shocked me, Ed.
It shocked me too, dude.
Really
Shocked
did
me
not
too.
think this one was getting over the edge. It didn't get really far over, which, but even $1 more than the goal shocked me. Not because I didn't think it was quality product or that it would be delivered or any of that stuff, right? But just where it sat, 3 days left. When we talked last week, they were not anywhere near the goal. I don't think they were halfway to the goal at that point.
I think they were just at the halfway point last Tuesday when we talked, and they had just under 72 hours left. And it was insane. I don't know how much came from BBTS, but I guess BBTS got added in on the last day in the morning, is from what I heard. And then everything else was just made up by regular backers, man. So
yeah, and I'm looking online to see, because I know I sent you a message because it shocked me. Yeah, that's what it was. So like when we streamed last week, they were at $81,000 roughly with about 455 backers. And then they made it to 95. They made up the gap of about $95,000 off of just 38 more backers is what I saw when it finally went. So like they swung for the fences there. Obviously it's increased, I think, even at the end more than what I saw when they achieved it. Because I think at that point when they were darn near the end, they had about they had like 176,493 backers. And they only had like 38 hours to go. So they pushed a little bit further. And I know now they're doing some late order stuff for others that want to get into it still. So,
they're doing something instead of doing their Kickstarter now has a thing that's called the late backer.
Yeah, it's like a late backer option
instead of doing the other
backer
platforms.
So. Yeah, instead of doing like backer kit or whatever it was, right? Kit. Yeah. So just an update from that. So it'll be interesting. We'll keep you guys updated on that and make sure that we kind of as we see the news come through on that, the progress and what people see come to production and stuff, because there'll definitely be things coming from them. Next we have Four Horsemen with a little bit of news. As you may see here, it's an awesome picture. You can see Necronomicon in all its glory. It's a truckload of it. The first container has arrived. These are their all-in sets, and those are shipping now, with more waves arriving soon. The Graveyard, I guess they're also doing a backer kit. Thank you, Brick. I didn't realize that. Going back to the Horsemen here, they have the Graveyard Skeletons, and full Necronomicon waves are expected in the coming weeks. Shipping's going to take 3 to 4 weeks. Tracking updates once packages are scanned. So stay tuned for more updates on that. This one's interesting to me because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I know, I didn't back it through Four Horsemen because I think I was still kind of new to the independent lines at this point and wasn't in that kind of diving in there. I think I was still military focused. So I didn't jump in on this one until I got in much later with the
I'll tell you, I think on their one post today, they put in there how many like the all-ins they've already got ready to ship out or processed or through shipping or something. And it's just like, it was a crazy amount. I can't remember what it was, like 10,000 all-ins or something like that. It was crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a lot. There's a bunch of videos out there that I have in my watch list that I just have not had a chance to watch that talk about a bunch of the pricing and stuff on the Four Horsemen. So I'm going to do a little bit of watching those and checking things out, because there's been a lot of talk about pricing changes and stuff over the forward.
Well, our good friends Brick and Oz keep talking about how they're going to bring back Legion School, but I haven't seen anything about it yet. So
yeah, but that's, to me, my understanding, that would hopefully be like lore focused, not
it's
necessarily.
It's going to be a little bit of everything. So I mean,
I just want lore.
Pricing. Yeah,
I just want somebody to teach me. Like I want Shane Douglas, the dean, to come in and educate me. And if you don't know who that is, go look it up. It's a wrestling reference, but I just want him to show up and educate me on the class. So Oz, please, Brick, please teach me the ways. I love lore. So just quick update there. Additionally, they also announced.
Thanos says, get the damn book. That's all about the lore. Did you order the book?
The book isn't about the lore. The book that they just had for sale, it's just like the process and the sales and the figures. It's not lore based, is it? That's the way I read it. When I saw a post by Jeremy, I was pursuing it as just simply, I was just seeing it as more of like a 10 years a Horseman or whatever it was.
I didn't read the book because I can't read, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I can read, I just can't see well enough to read a book. So.
Yeah, that checks out though. I mean, at 29, seeing is hard.
It is,
and believing is even harder. So I get it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, brick
Okay,
and
so
grade.
brick.
It's just figs.
Yeah, it's just the figs. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. See, because again, being the lore queen that I
Yeah.
am, I wanted to dive in, and unfortunately, when I saw it, it was more about that, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. If
Yeah.
you're a big horseman guy, it's probably something cool to check out. It's not something for me, or something that I wanted right now. But yeah. Oh, I guess it has bios. I don't want bios. I want someone to explain it to me. I want something like what I get the benefits of seeing once a month on, or what I was getting before they started working for them on Sundays. I would get that AWOC talk and I would get that really cool insight, but now they work for them and I don't get the insight because they're afraid of
Yeah.
releasing too much information and giving away the
Right.
goodies. So,
Yeah, they really need a book on like, the dragons and where they rank compared to the next level down and how it flows down and what the factions are and all that stuff. And I get it, right? There's a lot of lore that's built in, but it's not really all tied together. So
yeah, I want to know. I want the Lord of the Rings stories. I want to know the Hobbit. I want to know the Wheel of Time stories that happened, and where they were doing, area. I want all that. So yeah. Yeah, there was a big gap between 4 and 5 for sure, Thanos, on that. But going into this, they had the retailer exclusive wave going to only be available through the Four Horsemen retail partners. So, as I like to say, hella dope toys. That's where you should buy that. Look for hella dope
right.
toys to get your 2024, or I guess it would be 2025 retailers wave. Which my understanding is, maybe ask your significant other for a Valentine's Day gift, because my understanding is that's when the pre-orders begin, is on February 14th. So go ahead and check it out. I'm sure Hella Dope Toys will have that up for you guys to take a look at. And you can see here they've already announced that the black and blue.
Yeah, they're going to announce the figures that are going to be in the retail wave through this week and next week on what figures are going to be in there. So
exactly. So here's one of them. This is the first reveal. Was the black and blue Anubis. If I said that
which
correctly.
is cool because I want Anubis and I don't really care about Baphomet. So this is good for me.
So, and for me, I don't so much want him for like a character. I actually think he would just be cool as like a I wish they would just give you like a base color, like almost like in gold exclusively or something, or gray like a cement, almost like a savage what do they call them? I can't think of what it's called, but just a base paint, right? So that you could use it in like a diorama or something and like get two of them like for an entry point to a building or something, because they're so cool looking, but I don't necessarily want them for an active and toy. And all the accessories are really cool. So I will likely keep my eye on that one, and maybe something I end up picking up. Looking forward to seeing what else they announce for those. So then we jump over to Space Zombies from Mars. When are those coming, Fatrid? I don't know when they're coming. I know the pre-orders will go up on February 14th. I know that I'm still waiting on last year's retailer wave exclusive, right?
It's usually like 8 to 12 months, depending on what it is, from the time they go on pre-order till they get released. So, but they go out for pre-order on February 14th. So tell your lady to pre-order.
Hella dope. Yeah, send her the link over at Hella Dope. Space Zombies from Mars. Jumping into that one. There was a cool little update from Adam over there last week. Shout out from the crick, highly articulated. I think it was 2 weeks ago's shout out from the crick, because last week was
Olivia,
a daughter from a punk with toys, or however I worded it. So yeah. But this came from highly articulated from a couple weeks ago. He mentioned kind of giving a preview that what they're referring to. I think this is cool. This is Adam using some smart marketing and that team over there with their awesome company name, because it's a real cool name. It's the Nameless Toy Company, I think is what it's called, like TNT. They have, it was announced, I think this came out yesterday. My days all kind of meshed together, but he posted this either yesterday or the day before, said there's 28 days to go before they launch the Kickstarter. So it's just within the last couple days. It was announced. This is what they're referring to with the shadow photos. This is what they're referring to as their all systems go. It's their all-in bundle, and this bundle will be, will include one of everything they will offer, assuming all the stretch goals unlocked. The price
13 items in this bundle.
Yep. The price for this bundle, of course, I know this message was posted by Highly Articulated because the starting price was in Canada and not announced in US dollars. So it checks out. It's $345 US dollars for the All Systems Go bundle, which I thought was really cool. And that price is really not bad when you figure it, right? You're talking, what is it? Figure wise, you've got 8, 9, 10, 11 figures. And even if you don't want the extras like the potential graphic novel or the graphic novel or the vinyl, I mean, you're looking at 11 figures for what is that? I don't know the price point. It's not bad though, right? Because like these are fairly detailed.
Well, it's 30 some. I mean, if it was 330, that'd be 33 bucks a piece. So I mean, you're talking 35
under $32 a figure with multiple accessories. Very good detail, designed by an awesome designer. So keep your eye out for the space zombies from Mars.
Yes, we will be hopefully having them on to discuss it between now and before the Kickstarter ends. Not sure the date
absolutely yet. Yeah, that would be awesome. And we're moving some dates around right now. We have some tentative dates for our schedule, which we may adjust based on some folks' schedules coming up in the next few weeks. So looking forward to that. Then the other thing here is we got an update from Valaverse. The image, it's not as clean on my screen. I know I pulled it from their website and they do really cool stuff with their site, which makes it hard to get their logo. So it's scaled up. I really do like the new logo. That branding I thought looked really cool. They just celebrated their 6-year, anniversary, rebranded with a newer logo, which I think looks cool. But they also showed off a couple sneak peeks to the Vanguard Hall, which is their accessory pack to kind of up the, features of the Vanguard. So you've got like that, armor, additional doors. You've got like the window pieces to kind of give it that more military grade. And it's what is it called? The Hall stands for Heavy Armor Upgrade Loadout, which I thought was cool. I don't have a Vanguard, but I thought this was cool.
It definitely makes the Vanguard look a lot tougher than it normally does.
And what I also wanted to point and highlight here is the awesome artwork on that box and the packaging by Quentin Bedwell.
Yes.
So again, a talented artist. We've seen his stuff before. He's done a lot of the artwork for the design.
Yes, the soccer mom's getting serious.
Soccer mom's gonna screw
Don't take your parking spot at the mall. Not at Christmas time. Get your ass from home.
Like I look at this image and I'm like, if those space zombies from Mars happen to end up on Earth and you needed to ram through those zombies, you got a pretty good grill to get right through them right there. So damn you, punk, damn you. So yeah, the Valaverse update there on the Vanguard Hall. And then we're gonna jump into the main topic. But before we do that, is there anything you want to pull up from the chat?
Let's see. I think the only one I have that's new is brought up as we were talking, but our bro Troy Dotson is stopping by saying, "What's up, my dudes? What's up, Troy?" I just speaking of that zombie killer, I just pre-ordered the expansion pack from Ramen Toys for the Ramen Racer. That's got the armor and the windows and stuff because I was gonna buy the one that's actually rusty and has that comes with it, the Ramen Razor.
Right.
But then I decided, I want to be able to do more than just that with it. So I was happy to see because I bought a regular one and then I was happy to see their Ace put out the kit to upgrade it to that, so I can take it on and off. And of course, I got the van coming with all the armor on it too, so I'll have a whole zombie apocalypse, convoy.
That's cool. Good deal.
Graf says he's waiting for the wood panel siding for the Vanguard. Well, if they're going to do that, they have to paint the whole thing like a pea green and then give it the wood panels. It's the only way to do wood panels.
And if they do it, they also need to get the dude Chevy Chase figure put out. So we have
a Clark Griswold figure going with that.
Yep, exactly. That's right where I was going. So awesome. So going into the topic here, convention countdown, prepping for 2025's biggest events, right? So there's a lot of toy conventions that happen. We do not have all of them, but we have the ones that are on our radar. I don't know that we're attending all of them, or any one of us is attending any, and a number of them. I know I'm trying to shoot for Legions Con for sure this year. Originally, I was going to try to get to this one, but unfortunately, it's scheduled on the same weekend that both the New York State cheerleading sectionals are for the section that my daughter competes in, but also the same weekend where I'll be traveling to Toronto to appear at, Elimination Chamber and claim my title. But so ZoloCon 2025 scheduled from March 1st to the 2nd. It's going to actually be hosted in a bigger venue. So ZoloCon, I actually attended over the summer last year. On my way down to Maryland, we got to stop in at ZoloCon, and I got a chance to stop in there, and it was really cool. They used a really unique venue. It was like the Fudge or something like that, as a round building, looked like an old like space silo type thing. Really cool, unique facility that they had there. But they're moving out of there and actually going to be appearing at the Valley Forge Casino Resort in Kings of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So they'll be there this year for the first time. And what I will say is, when I was at the ZoloCon last summer, there was some vendors there and toy companies that actually mentioned how the summer one is a little bit more low key. It's not nearly as busy as the what they refer to as the winter ZoloCon, or in this case, it's that March one, but they typically refer to it as the winter version, from my understanding. So they have the winter, they have the summer, and then they have like a Halloween one they do annually, 3 times a year. So with this one, he hinted towards there's a lot more vendors going to be there. There's going to be, they're kind of, without PowerCon this year, like the official one, there's a lot of folks that are kind of treating this like a big, like a very large convention. I think there's over 231, you kind of like vendors or booth folks in attendance this year. And it's a massive facility from what they have. I would put this on par with probably close to like, it's not going to be exactly like a PowerCon-esque size, but it looks huge, man. Like, they've got a ton of space in this one. Going to a little bit more in depth on this, you could see a bunch of the vendors in attendance. You've got your independent toy lines like Four Horsemen, Valaverse, Form, if you've seen them. You've also got Skeletron's going to be there. You've got Wolf King Customs, which is a big retail partner with Four Horsemen that does a lot of custom stuff. They're always at Legions Con. You've also got Valaverse. I think I said Valaverse on there. You're going to have Spiro, I think, on this, right? Is that right? I don't see their logo for whatever reason. D3 Toys is going to be there. I'm looking. I think Spiro's at this one. Yeah, Spiro's going to be there. Frazetta Art Museum is going to be there. This is on the East Coast, Troy. It's actually in Pennsylvania, the Kings of Prussia. There's a lot of teams there. Chicken Fried Toys is going to be there. You're going to have one of my friends, D Blake Makes, over there. A lot of folks going to be in attendance at this one. So it's a very large convention. On the left-hand side, you can see a picture down at the bottom, one of the exclusives that's going to be there this year. It's that Skull Man. It's like the warrior beast. They've been doing those with Four Horsemen. I have the one from last year with the red face and everything that they had down there. So that one will be available for folks then. They also do, they have other folks. I think this year they're going to have one of the artists from his work on Marvel's Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jim Steraniko. They're also going to have, again, it's going to be at a casino. I mean, that's going to be fun, right? So there's that. And I think I read something about a dinner with Sternico. So it's an event, that they're offering where fans get an exclusive experience with the artist. There'll be some panels and special exhibits focused on toy restoration, toy history, and behind the scenes insights from industry veterans. So with everything that I've heard, I actually, I want to double check one thing, because I'm pretty sure what's Savage Crucible called? Harvard Studios. Studios. So yeah, they're going to be there also in attendance too. So yeah, a lot of the big guys that we follow are going to be in attendance at this event. And it just goes back to what I was told last summer, where this is going to be a big one, and people kind of hinted towards, this could be, if a PowerCon doesn't come back, something that folks might start to treat as that kind of larger, independent toy, and it's not in Ohio. It's a little bit more on the East Coast, but it's still a little bit more south than something maybe say in New Jersey like Legion's Con, which is really high up in New Jersey, close to New York, really. And then it's not buried in New York
Well,
somewhere.
people hate New Jersey almost as much as they hate Ohio. So I mean,
So,
going to Pennsylvania is kind of a
So I don't know about you, Ed. This is not. Have you ever been to a ZoloCon?
I haven't been to ZoloCon, no.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't been to the winter one. My intention is to be in the 2020, be at the 2026 one. I definitely want to check it out next year. This year, just again with everything going on, was tough. I'll have to be careful based on the dates next year, just because my daughter's cheer. But something else they do at ZoloCon, which I saw, Rule Keeper. ZoloCon is in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. It's at.
We were talking about Legion's Con being in.
Yeah, we're talking about Legion's Con being a little bit more north, and this is, while it's not central like Ohio provides, the West Coast folks a little less having to jump coast to coast, gives them kind of that middle of the country approach, and whatnot. This gives you kind of middle of the country, north to south, so you're not going all the way down to like Atlanta for like the bigger cons that are down that way. So additionally, I don't have anything on Oregon. Right? Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure.
It's like Western New York. You get the small local cons, and that's about all you're going to get.
This is something else that they do at ZoloCon, because they had one of these apes or these monkeys there, the space heroes that they do. They do these collectibles, these kind of exclusives at their event. And this it's like a 3 3/4 figure. The next two wave 1 figures are dropping for the March 1st and 2nd. So they had already dropped a couple of these or so. I think one of them last year and maybe one the year before. I don't know completely on that, but they definitely will be having the 2 of the 4. And then once you collect all 4, they will allow you to kind of build a figure, the private ham interstellar version that you see at the top of this image. But again, you can only get these, and it's super limited. And this is a little different than what I remember last year was having a blind bag. I do not remember a blind bag approach, which I think is interesting because I think the blind bags are like something a lot of kids are into, and even more adult collectors.
Bags are huge nowadays.
Yeah, so ZoloCon looks fun. You have any thoughts on ZoloCon before I go on to the next one?
I haven't ever been. I'm interested in going. Hopefully, probably not this year, but next year I'd like to make it to the March show.
Yeah, if I'm
especially if PowerCon doesn't come back to Ohio, this is the show I'll probably go to in the spring.
Yes, let's get that on our books for 2026 if it all works out, for sure. Because I think that'll be a good one to meet up at. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So if anybody's going to this, let me know. I'm interested, and maybe we can have you be our eyes on the ground, right? Our feet on the floor.
Yeah, boots in the dirt, man. Boots in the dirt.
The next one is ToyLanta. I'm going linear in which when these are scheduled, right? The ones we want to cover. So ToyLanta, aka powered up ToyLanta, right? Yes. So this is that PowerCon ToyLanta approach. I don't have the dates. I didn't actually capture these. I know that there's also
it's right there, March 28th, 29th, and 30th.
No, I know for this one there is. I'm sorry. Yes, I know that.
The JoeLanta version.
Thank you. There is a JoeLanta run by the same organization that does ToyLanta. I don't have a bunch of details on that, Ed. You're more than welcome to add and chime in on that.
I don't know when the JoeLanta is this year either, but it's primarily the same show put on by the same group of people. The JoeLanta used to be more G.I. Joe centric, but they've actually kind of changed that into just an independent toy type of show again.
Okay.
I went to JoeLanta many years ago, and it was very Joe centric, but it was a lot of like vintage toy vendors and things like that, right? Kind of like what you saw on the outskirts of PowerCon, all the vintage toy sellers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And not very many like actual celebrities, not many,
manufacturers,
toy companies and manufacturers, right? But I think part of the reason the PowerCon has been brought in this year is to fix some of that. Like you see here, Trevor's going to be there.
I picked Trevor because I used his image because it had the power up ToyLanta image.
Yeah.
He's got some cool photos, which alludes to one of the exclusives that'll be there. We'll be talking about shortly, but
Yeah.
also because he's in the community and wanted to highlight that they are going with a celebrity approach, which that's that. We'll say I don't celebrity / influencer, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
it's somebody who maybe they have like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actor. They have that's Ernie Reyes. They have Paige Baracco, and they have other guests that are being announced. I know
Paige
from an
Tarico.
influencer side. What was that?
Yeah, they got Trevor coming. They got Robo from Robo Don't Know's coming.
Shartimus.
I think Shartimus and Dan
Larson,
I think, is going to be there. So, the PowerCon has definitely given them more of a probably celebrity type of experience and some more actual toy manufacturers probably going to be there as opposed to what was usually there. Of course, like I said, I haven't been to the show in a while, so it's grown and gotten bigger, and they've changed venues since I was there. I mean, when I was there, it was just in a little hotel, and it was all like I said. The only cool thing about when I went with the Joe stuff, it was like a lot of GI Joe dioramas. They had a diorama contest and a custom figure contest, and that was really cool to see. Right, that was just awesome stuff to see.
Awesome
people bringing in these credible works of art.
Good deal. Yeah, and just to add, right, you kind of hit it on the head. There is ToyLanta, which is what it's always been, which I think from my research and what I was able to find online aligns with and checks out to what you're saying, right? Is not toy manufacturers, but toy collectors that are selling or resellers, things like that, right? People are holding on to things from prior, events or prior collections and things like that, moving product. But there's that power up aspect this year, which I think is cool. If it goes well, I hope it continues, and I hope PowerCon still remains itself. But maybe this is a way to parlay the we've talked about this more in depth. But through looking through their website directly, I actually was able to find the Power Up event. Right, it definitely alluded to this dedicated space for independent and new toy companies, toy designers, and collectors. So they already and always kind of had this presence featuring vintage, modern, some custom toy stuff from sellers all over, but now with the power up aspect, you're getting toy manufacturers or independent toy companies and designers. They also alluded to having, panels and workshops centered on action figures, toy collecting, customizing, and other behind the scenes stuff. Right. So that all seemed and sounded to me much more like that PowerCon factor. So I'm interested to see from what it is. Another one I'm not going to be attending this year, but one that I hope to hear quite a bit about from those that are going to be in attendance. So again, anybody that's following, listening later, whatever, if you're going, I'd love to, message us at the ToyLeet. Maybe we can chat before you go, or even maybe we can have you on after to talk about your experience. I'd love to hear more about ToyLanta. Awesome. And if you've been to ToyLanta and you've been to PowerCon, I'd love to have that conversation with you in more in depth to do some comparisons to it. Let us know if you're going. Awesome. Next. Oh, sorry. Also, right? This is why you go to toy shows. This is why you go, right? There's exclusives, right? So they do have what is considered exclusive and limited stock for the show. It's this ATL 25, which is kind of their way of giving that association to a Joe type figure, more of that military line. They're taking, those horseman figures. They've done another paint app to it, and they've gone with this more military, less. It's still got a space twist look to it, but they kind of pulled back and definitely give it. I mean, when you see this, if you're looking quickly, some people might think this is a Roadblock, right? Or
this figure's kind of cool and interesting. I really want to get this figure, and the thing that I really find fascinating about it is that the four horsemen basically have the Mythic Legions, the Cosmic Legions, and Figure Obscura. And they've come out and said that this figure doesn't fit into any of those, right? This is just a true convention exclusive, right? What an awesome way to do it. They took Cosmic parts, a few Mythic parts, put it all together, and like you said, it looks just like a Roadblock from the future, right?
It almost looks like GI Joe Extreme almost, right? It was like in that semblance of the 90s Extreme, right? So I thought it was cool. I wonder if
And
they'll
that's
see
one of
how
the other
this
things
goes.
we talked about before, and it'll be brought up in some of the other cons too, is that like a lot of these convention exclusives I've seen this year are convention exclusives that are going for like any show that uh, indie toy company is at, right? Like Fresh
Yep.
Monkey Fiction's doing the trooper there. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but anyway, the
I
Phantom
can't think
Core,
of it either.
the Phantom Core,
Yeah,
Van Helsing and the Phantom Core.
I
So
couldn't
they're
think
doing
of it.
that
Yeah.
as an exclusive. It's going to be at JoeFest and ToyLanta and all the other shows that Fresh Monkey Fiction's doing this year. That's how you get that figure. And I'm sure
Yeah.
this one will be the same way, that if there's any left over from ToyLanta, Four Horsemen will have this at all the other shows that they're doing. So
Yep. Yep. And I also am I'd be curious to see what they do from Four Horsemen with this exclusive, if it opens the door to other things. But additionally, like you said, there's other vendors like Avalaverse who's announced that he's going to have exclusives at a number of the conventions.
Yep.
And he'll put stuff out online and he'll bring stuff to the next convention. But I've read it, and I may be wrong, but my interpretation of the Avalaverse lines is that their expectation is to have a number of different exclusives they've announced that are targeted exclusives for different events. But again, if they have stuff carry over from one to the other, you may find that. So whatever's at Zolo, they might bring to the next one if they have stock available. But there's a number of individual exclusives that they plan to have throughout the year. So awesome. And that, I mean, let's be honest, we haven't heard anything about Spiro exclusives, haven't heard anything about Savage Crucible exclusives for events, but it's very possible Savage now producing figures, they can surprise us, right? So it'd be very exciting to see what they do. So this one, I'm going to let you run with it, other than just announce the dates, because this is your baby. This is JoeFest, right?
That's right.
June 20th through the 22nd. So 3-day event. Wait. Brick said no. There's Felonious. That's the dude that looks like Atreyu, but he's blue. Oh, but where's he? What event's he from?
He was going to be the exclusive, I believe, for PowerCon this year, if it was ever.
He's a Faker style AWOC. But Brick, do we know when that's going to be? If we don't, I understand you can't share that, but it is for JoeLanta. Okay, so that's at JoeLanta this year. So we don't have JoeLanta covered on here, but it's tied, like we said, to the ToyLanta group. Yep. So there will be Felonious. Yes, I remember. They announced it at JoeLanta last year. They showed it, and they announced that it'll be there for next year as an exclusive, I think, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
my timing might be off.
It's the blue Faker color, like Faker from the Master of the Universe, and he's Atreyu in the blue. So,
Brick, are you going to be in attendance for JoeLanta? Because if you are, there's a special someone that lives very close to your heart, that lives in New York, that is going to need that figure. Let's talk. Hopefully, it doesn't end with me, trying to chase down a digital copy of episode number 5, and right. I'm left wanting. But again,
you did double back the whole wave, right? I mean, the whole Kickstarter. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
you
I
should
really want that Faker. Good deal. Yeah. Speaking to JoeFest, again, this is August. This is the Augusta Convention Center in Augusta, Georgia, June 20th through the 22nd. Take it away, Ed.
So JoeFest is, like Travis said, it's in a hotel in Augusta, Georgia. It's in one of the convention areas in the back of this huge hotel, beautiful hotel. It's expanded this year to be on 2 floors, I believe they said. So Sergeant Slaughter was there last year. He will be in attendance again this year. He'll be, last year he was there doing autographs, taking pictures, doing the whole gig, meet and greet people. And of course, he stopped and had a couple of drinks with us, which was awesome. And another guest they're going to have there this year is Larry Hama, who is basically the creator of G.I. Joe. And Mr. Hama is also an awesome guy. Spent quite a bit of time with Mr. Hama at a local con several years ago. And him and I sat behind his table while he, talked to people and signed autographs and stuff. And he told me stories about the guys he actually named some of the characters after or based some of the characters on, and showed me some of his actual pictures of these guys and stuff like that. So, Larry Hama is a cool guy to talk to. they'll do some free art, not free artwork, but do some artwork for you and sign pictures and stuff like that. So comic books and all that. So
Ed, did you see just a couple days ago that Quick Kick, or the voice of Quick Kick,
yeah,
and the actor that acted as Shredder from the Secret of the Ooze movie?
Yep.
Franciso Chow, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Chow.
Yep.
He'll be in attendance too.
Yes, I did
Yep.
see that, which is great because last year the only celebrity they had there last year was Sergeant Slaughter. So it's nice to see them bringing in a few more guests. It'll probably help give Slaughter a little bit of a break, but it'll also, give people a little bit. It'll have a little more draw to it, right? Now, JoeFest is a great event. It's kind of like a Legion's Con, where it's a lot about the brotherhood and people just hanging out and talking and having a good time and all that stuff. But don't be fooled by it being called JoeFest, because it's no longer just JoeFest. It's a very independent, heavy toy show. Last year there was Fresh Monkey Fiction was there with their Monster Force exclusives. Skeletron was there. Delta 17 was there. Savage Crucible was there. Mythic Legions was there. Four Horsemen, I should say. What's the dudes that do the fist? The guys that do the fist action figures were there. The guys that were doing
well, you got me my fist figures from there. Why can I not think of it? Its name's
he's from South America. I know that.
Yeah, Colombia. He's from Colombia.
Yeah, and the guys that do the figure line that's coming out with the real life veterans.
It is Fist. You're probably thinking of it last year because they were still associated with.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Toys. They're not associated with
Invincible. That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of independent toy companies, toy makers. Even guys like he was on Hello Dope Toys. He just does like diorama bases with backdrops, mostly Star Wars and fantasy related. I can't think of his name right now, but he was there. And then they have the toy vendors, of course, and stuff like that. So, but the biggest kick about the JoeFest is just like I said, the brotherhood. It's kind of like similar to hear people talk about the Go to Legion's Con every year. It's just everybody getting back together. There's a lot of guys from England and stuff like that that come over here every year just to go to JoeFest. And, it's a great show to go to, hang out with. The hotel is really nice. Sucks if you don't get a room at the hotel this year. I got myself booked at the hotel, so I don't have to leave and go to another hotel. I can just stay in the lobby till 3 a.m, go crash, and then hit the show the next morning. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, great show. The tickets aren't bad. I think it's $75 this year for all 3 days for VIP pass. Which gets you in half an hour early, and to the show floor, and so it's good time.
And do they have like the workshops and stuff at this? Do they do kind of like those breakouts?
They have a few. Last year, one of the workshops they had was if you did it, you got to turn a Sergeant Slaughter into the evil version of Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, shit. Okay. I remember that one.
And that was I think cool. Sarge was in there wandering around talking to people while they were doing that. Then there was another couple of workshops about customizing figures and stuff like that. They have a really cool thing where after the show on Friday or Saturday, they do like a swap meet, so you can go upstairs and people are selling like the guys attending the show just bring in like tubs full of stuff, so you can buy that gun you can't find or that accessory you might not be able to find, stuff like that, or make a deal on something that's a good thing. Cool. So
awesome, good deal. Yeah, so there's a number of guests there this year. I think I saw that the voice of Dr. Mindbender is going to be in attendance. There's Ron Rudett. Did you say him?
No, yeah, Ron Rudett's going to be there, who's one of the creators of the
toy designer line.
Yep.
Yeah. So quite a few folks. Definitely. This is not your fantasy or sci-fi event. It is very JoeFest. It's very GI Joe centric. But there has been the penetration by other groups that attend in this too. Do folks like I think
when you're walking around looking at like the vendors, there's a lot more vendors there that are selling military based toys, right? Vintage GI Joe, vintage, the core and all those, Sergeant Rock and all those figures. But the actual toy manufacturers that have penetrated there are very, very much independent, just like PowerCon and stuff like that. The same players that go to all these cons now, right? Which is one of the cool things about the independent toy companies, right? Is that they get to go to these cons and not have to worry about, hurting the feelings of their, the backers, the CEOs and stuff like that, like Mattel and Hasbro have to worry about.
So I don't know if you realize this, but I was just looking. I'm pulling it up on the side here, just a reference. But the guest list for 2025 also includes someone that is near and dear to me. That is Jason B over there at Spiro Toys. He's actually a named guest list on the 2025 list, and right after him is somebody who's in the toy industry named Brian Flynn. I'm not sure who he is. So does he normally attend? Have you seen him there before?
I don't remember if Super 7 was there last year or not. If they were there last year, I totally avoided them. So not on purpose. I just don't have anything to do with Super 7.
Yeah, and Marauders there, Skeletron's there.
Yeah, Marauders.
Super 7 will have 5 tables from what I'm seeing on their website. Wow. Operation Recall, your 4 Horsemen's going to be there. Yep. You're going to have AWOC there, rocking away with 2 tables. Toy Federation's going to be there. Eternity of Dreams.
Space Sergeant Zombies Slaughter. From Mars was there last year. I'm sure they'll be there again this year.
Okay.
And Adam, highly articulated, who was our shout out a couple weeks ago, was there last year. I talked to him for a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of folks there. So just some folks in the industry that we, I don't want to say are close to, but we know of. And, some of them we are closer to than others, but kind of cool.
And it's, there's a lot of just cool little side things that went on. Like Scuba Pete took his flag and had it on a floaty and had it actually in the pool at the hotel. His huge flag just floating around. And Wilhelm from Wilhelm Toy and Hobby had bought these little like styrofoam planes. And they're having a competition who could stand on the side of the pool and glide it and land it actually on the, the landing base of the flag, just cool things like that. And, Punk and the guys on Sunday night after the show was over had the party in the pool. I can't remember what the hell they call it. Punk can pop in here and say it, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember what they called it now, but, and then we hung out in the lobbies, just hanging out, drinking and talking, and met so many different guys that I talk to every day now, like Charlock Prime and Plastic Fantastic and a bunch of other cool guys that, I would have never met had I not gone there. So cool event.
It looks like there's going to be an exclusive from Monster Force there.
Yes, that's the Declan Van Helsing Phantom Core.
Yep,
that's going to be their convention exclusive for all 4 or 5 cons that they're doing this year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just double checking through their Instagram here to check
their thing. I don't know, something to you scan the barcode and they add it to your BBTS order, so you won't actually get the exclusive at the show.
Oh, okay.
Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Gotcha. I didn't realize that, but yeah, they show that they show how do I get the Phantom Core figure? Looks like there's 4 shows you can get it from if you attend. I don't know. How do I get this? Visit our booth during I think maybe they will have it on site. How do I get the Phantom Corpse figure? Visit our booth anytime. How do I get it? Provide us with your email. Don't have an account.
Add it to your BBTS account.
Oh, so you actually have to get it there. If you're not in attendance, you're not going to be able to get it.
Right. Yeah, that's the cool thing about it, right? It's a true con exclusive, so you have to actually go to a show and get it added to your cart. But
yep. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. So that's JoeFest, and I think to sum it up is it's like a high school reunion for a lot of folks that are in the community that are getting together annually to check in and see how things are going.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
We're not worried about how much weight you put on or how much you've lost or what your job is. They're all just having a good time, seeing how
nice your beard is filled in since high school.
Yeah, see if the Sarge can put you to sleep.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So good deal. Awesome. So the last one on the you cannot get the figure there.
You're just saying what I said. You got to have your email so you can add it to your BBTS account.
Got you. So then the last one here, which is the convention I'm planning to attend right now, assuming nothing comes up between now and then. But I do plan to attend this one this year because there are definitely some folks that I believe that'll be attending this, that I'm hoping to meet for the first time. That didn't have the chance to connect with at PowerCon, and this is a big one. And it's actually, it's only about 2 hours away from me. So Legions Con, this is an impressive convention. And even Bobby Vala, from Valaverse, Legions Con is very fantasy, Mythic Legion focused. But Bobby even talked about on one of his recent streams about Legions Con and highlighted the fact that I think it was during his customization versus repro video, he talks about like Saturday mornings and talks about how his opinions on the custom figure modifications are versus people who produce repros and like all that stuff, right? Or third party manufacturers and things like that. And, IP theft. He goes in, it's an interesting video from somebody who's on the inside, share some details. But one of the things he talked about Legions Con was it opened his eyes to how talented the community is out there, especially in the Legions world, with what they're doing and how Legions, and Four Horsemen have provided a platform for a bunch of individuals. I'm not going to say independent companies because most of them are individuals who have a hobby of creating some really unique and custom stuff that plays right into the figure lines that, Four Horsemen build out. So this is November 8th to 9th. It's 2 days. It's down in Whippany, New Jersey. It's down at the Hanover Marriott. It's,
this is one that I want to go to this year. And if everything works out right, I plan on going to, but I got to get closer to that time.
The same thing here. It's a tough time of the year in November.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Got to find out if my daughter's going to need a flight home for the holidays. If I got to pay
exactly.
Yep.
The pricing on the tickets are, from what I've seen in the past years, they're not bad. It's like $40, I think, for 2 days or something like that. So it's very reasonable. I do think last year the tickets did sell out. It seems like every year they get bigger and bigger. From what I've been following the last couple of years, it's truly a dedicated event for Four Horsemen fans. Last year I do know that there was a cancellation, and that's how Valaverse got plugged in, and I think that, from my understanding, is they'll be back again this year, because Bobby and Valaverse, and the reason I mention them is just because it's an independent toy creator that's not within that realm of Legions, right? So different, but they're there. So they do panels, and really, like, Legions Con's like this big, like, even though this is only the 2-day event of the actual convention, there's the Friday before. I think it's Friday before they do the G-Con event, where
they do the G-Con, and they also have every year they have the intern for a day event that is connected with this. So it ends up being like a 4 or 5 day show, but the show itself is only 2 days long.
Yeah, and the focus is on really it's a diehard group, but it's like that. When I joined the Cabal on Facebook and those groups and stuff, I was surprised. It's definitely, there's been, with the growth of Mythic Legions, there's a couple things that happen from time to time where, that the toxic behavior of one person might get some other people in an uproar and stuff. And this is not critical of Legions or the Cabal. What I'm getting to is that the Cabal, from my experience when I joined, is a very friendly environment. Very supportive.
They're very welcoming. I mean,
I couldn't believe it is what I'm getting to. I can't believe how friendly that group was in comparison to some of these other forums. And I come from a very toxic community of the pro wrestling action figure forums. And that is a mess and a nightmare. And everyone's got their 2 cents. And pro wrestling in itself has maybe some of the most toxic fans in the world. They're never happy. Go look at Royal Rumble and all the feedback. But again, going to the Cabal, they're like open arms in a lot of cases and very impressed with it. And from everything I've heard, that's how Legions Con itself is, and they do it exclusive. They do their own exclusive. It's the last 2 years. It's been a 2-pack. You're actually, I think 2 years ago, it was a 2-pack, one mythic, one space, right?
Yep.
One fantasy mythically. So one cosmic and one mythic. And then this year, I think they did individuals on each day, where it was a 2-pack of Mythic and then a 2-pack of Cosmic, because I got the Mythic pack thanks to our buddy Oz over there.
Yep.
So,
the one thing I will say about all these cons is that these are pretty big cons, right? You got some really well-known indie toy manufacturers in the business that you can actually just go up and meet. Jeremy from Four Horsemen's always usually at most of these cons.
Yep.
Jason from Spiro is always at these cons, and all the guys, Ken
Valiverse is at every
Bobby's
one of them.
there.
Yep.
Ken and Steve are from Delta 17. We're at JoeFest.
Savage
And
Crucible.
the tickets are like you said, $40 for the weekend for Legion's Con for the 2 days. Last year, JoeFest was $50. This year, it's up to $75, probably to cover the more guests that they're getting. But he's still running specials on sales and stuff like that to get in. But I mean, I went to Nickel City Con, which is the local Buffalo Comic Con, which is really kind of a crappy con now since COVID. Used to be great, not quite so great anymore. And I think for myself, for me and the two of my kids that went with me on a Sunday, which the show was only like 5 hours on the Sunday, it was still $40 for that one day, or $35 a piece for that one day, right?
And that's without an autograph. It's without a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And like that con is very celeb oriented with like pro wrestlers and things like
wrestlers
that.
And movie stars that are outdated and no one gives a shit about, really.
Horror fans, like that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, not to trash the con, because it used to be really, really good. Last year was their first year back since COVID, so hopefully this year is going to be better. But we'll see. But it's still, what I'm saying is, $75 for the weekend at JoeFest is worth it when I'm paying $35 or $40 for a day of 5 hours at a
B-level convention.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And let's be honest, the Buffalo one's like, yes, Buffalo is a large city within New York, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not like easily accessible to anybody that's not in Syracuse, Rochester, or like across the Canadian border. It's not really an ideal location. And meanwhile, Atlanta, maybe it's not as easy, but it's something people, and it's larger, right? It's got much more of a attention grab because it's spread. But going to Legion's Con, right? Specifically, this is a big one. It's a really cool, again, another example of how they have turned how they have modeled their business structure to be different than a traditional, toy company, right? Like they made their toys customizable, modifiable, whatever you want to call it, pop and swap, like all that stuff, right? They've evolved with time. They've even got the Buck 3s or whatever they're coming out with, the version 3s. So like they're expanding and improving on everything, their articulation, all that stuff. But these guys, I mean, they announced the Dragon last year at G-Con leading up to Legion's Con. And, what they've done is if they have this convention where, they're selling their product, but this entire event is focused on the community and what the community has done with the core basics of theirs. And you have your Spiro, you have Vala, you have some others, I'm assuming, that are going to be in attendance this year, that show up with their wares and stuff. And those things do well too. But you have all these people that are hobby artists and designers that have established businesses and things like that on the backs of a core product line built, made, manufactured, produced by someone else, and they then put a convention together to promote that stuff. And again, it just goes back to a case study that you could look at, and you can find some really.
It's a very interesting thing, right? Because like the whole point of Legion's Con is to celebrate Mythic Legions, but not just to celebrate the actual toy company, the Four Horsemen, right? It's to celebrate all the people that are in the cabal, all the people that are there doing, custom paint heads, custom pop and swap figures. Curtis Ackerman from Art with Ackerman has him and his wife have a table, and she makes capes and stuff. And I can't think of the guy. All he does is make like wells and fountains that are for like displays, right? And brings a bunch there and sells them all. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's somebody that starts with a K. I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I follow him on Instagram myself. He's very talented. But yeah, like they do an amazing job. So another convention I'm really hoping to get to this year. This one is definitely on my to-do list. They've got great things, and the background of that image is clearly a dragon, and the bar was set last year, which I think was like was it the 25th anniversary or something?
Yes, it was the 25th anniversary of the actual studio and 10-year anniversary of Mythic Legions.
And the 5th anniversary of Legion's Con, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
So it was like, it had like an anniversary for a bunch of different reasons. for that. So this is, I think the 6th year. They will sell out most likely in advance. So get your tickets in advance if you're definitely planning to go. It was started as an art show, customizer exhibit model. The studio was there, but it wasn't originally a thing that had many vendors. It's Roots show. Interesting. Awesome, Brick. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really cool concept and approach, and they've done an amazing job with it. I really look forward to hopefully going this year. And I'm sure they will have a really cool exclusive, and that G-Con announcement, I'm sure, will be very, very exciting, as they often do. Because the last 2 years, it was the the dragon this past year, and the year before that was the bear. So bear to dragon to what's next? So
Yeah, where do you go from there, right? That's
we will be following that very closely
yeah.
as we lead up to Legions Con this year, for sure, on this show.
I know what it is. It's going to be a bear dragon or a dragon bear next year. That's what it's going to be.
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I don't know what they're going to do, because they opened up the whole mytho. I hope it's the lore. I hope they just announce something concrete for the lore. That'll make me happy. Last one, because we're closing with Legions Con, I used a little image from their site highlighting some of the stuff from Legions Con. But just kind of in closing, some of our final thoughts, and I'll pass it over to you in a second, Ed. But these aren't all of the conventions. These are the ones that we had on our radar. There's a couple that we left off. I think there's IshCon is one that's getting fairly big. There's the Maryland Toy Expo, which is getting bigger. You also have
DFW, GI Joe,
DFW Joe Show. Yep. We didn't necessarily post about a lot of those or go into depth on those, because they aren't at the heart of what we know, and we didn't want to try to speak to something we don't know enough about. And then obviously there wasn't the standalone PowerCon. I hope when we come back and visit next year's convention tour plans, I hope we're attending them more. And 2, I hope PowerCon is on that list. ZoloCon, just to highlight, going back, it's a broad toy and pop culture event that I think has the potential, because of those that are involved in attending it, from vendors and exhibits and such, that could potentially be a big player moving forward. They have a large facility, and if this year is successful, I can only imagine what next year is going to lead to. You've got ToyLanta, which is the powered up version. Very excited for that at the end of March. Looking forward to seeing what comes from there. You also have the DFW show. We didn't dive into that one, but that was I don't know, is that the same weekend as JoeFest, or is it back-to-back weekends this year?
It's back-to-back. Normally it's not the same weekends. Last year it just happened to land that way, but usually it's within a couple of weeks of each other. This year it is JoeFest, then the next weekend is DFW.
Gotcha. That's what I thought. So again, different set of vendors last year with this, because it kind of split, and actually, I won't say divided the community, but it was on the same weekend. And because of the placement being vastly different areas within the country, it made it for some people to make the trip to the local one versus JoeFest or to DFW, versus that. So there was that, but JoeFest, again, that's back. It's been running for quite some time. Ed will be in attendance to that. And then, kind of wrapping it up, we have Legions Con, which, from all intents and purposes, if you're a Mythic or Cosmic fan, it seems to be a must-attend event for sure. And it goes
There'll
beyond.
be a lot of us at JoeFest this year. I know me, Punk, Tony's Figs is going to be there. Oz is supposed to be there this year. I don't know about Brick, but I know Adam will probably be there with Spiro again. Stephen Kent from Delta 17, of course. Bunch of other guys are going to be there. So
Joe Ricondo, my buddy from
Joe
here,
Ricondo will be there.
He was just mentioning to me he's going to be there for JoeFest. He actually mentioned to me that he might be going out to the Buffalo show the week after JoeFest, which I think is the one that you were just talking about.
Yeah, Nickel City Con.
Yep, Nickel City. So we were just talking about that. So yeah, some really cool, things. And just kind of in closing, from my perspective, get out to a convention, meet some of the folks in the community. Really cool people out there.
If you guys got a one that you can get to, that's a bigger con that you can get to, try to get to yearly, or even if it's far away, but you just pick one, you really build a friendship with these guys. You talk to them all year through, online and stuff like that. And then you go back there and it's just like, hanging out with all your buddies from high school again. I mean, it was like, I saw Punk 2 years ago at PowerCon, then I saw him again at JoeFest, and it was, just like no time had passed, So, pick a con, try to go to the same one. If you can only get to one, pick one and just go to that one.
Yeah.
And don't worry about showing up alone, right? I mean,
Yeah.
show up alone. It doesn't matter. Somebody's
Well,
going to know you there.
And that's what I was going to point out, right? Is I went to PowerCon. Yeah, it was my first time, but like I didn't know anybody. Like I'd never met any of you guys in person. But like honestly, going to your point, right? It's like we've been hanging out forever between Aaron and Ted and Oz and even Mega J, who I'm not as close to, but like he was in my booth, and I had the booth, so people were like, oh, let me stash stuff here, but like gave me the opportunity to connect with people. You were there helping me watch my booth, and we had never met in person. We had just been two dudes in the Hella Dope stream and stuff. So like, don't worry if it's your first time traveling out to and you don't have anybody else to go with you. Find somebody who's going to be there and meet up, and like these conventions are a blast. And like honestly, like I know I talk about PowerCon often. It was not the first convention I had been to for toys. It was like, I guess, yes, it was the first convention I've been to. I've been to toy shows, and I've been to other kinds of shows, sports card shows, but like convention, this is the first time I went to a convention. I was definitely very nervous, had what I would refer to as imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know if I should be here, like that stuff, like that, and then get there. But like everybody was so cool. And it was awesome.
I mean, like even the guy next to you that was selling that art for
skateboards,
and stuff, right? I mean, you guys were talking all day long, right? He was a cool guy. I mean, it didn't matter. Didn't matter what you were selling, what you were doing there. Everybody was just talking to everybody,
Yeah, and if you want to know how to do it as an attendee or a vendor, go back to one of our first shows on this stream, and you'll get the get the how to, and maybe we'll check back in on how that to do that in the future as you guys are prepping up for either JoeFest or maybe Legion's Con later this year. So awesome. Any other final thoughts there, Ed?
Not about the topic. Nope.
Awesome. So that's it for this week's show. We appreciate you guys jumping in. Just to highlight what's coming up next, we have next week's show, which is going to be the Anticipation Now, Most Anticipated Toys of 2025. So this is where Ed and I will talk about what we think are our top figures. I don't know if we're going to do top 5 or, top 10, whatever. We're going to talk about the things we're excited for in 2025, our most anticipated toys. It might be a wave, it might be a series, it might be one-offs here and there, it might be an exclusive, right? So we'll talk about that next week and dive in, do our normal spiel and go through everything there. But in some upcoming shows right now, these are, I'm going to say, they're tentative dates and tentative topics, because we do have a few guests coming up in future weeks. I think my schedule's off somehow because my dates. So right now we're looking at building dioramas 20 on the 18th. I think I messed up my dates. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Next week is going to be the 11th, so we'll be talking Anticipation Now. Then on the 18th, we tentatively are doing the building. What did I just do?
You hit a wrong button. You had one job, Travis. One job.
I don't even know what I hit. But
anyway,
that's the shocking part. Sorry. So we'll talk building dioramas, bringing your toy scenes to life, and then on the 25th we'll be talking the art of display, showcasing your collection. So we're targeting that on the 25th, the 18th and 25th. They potentially.
I thought the 25th was our Hella Dope Day.
Yeah, that's the art of display.
Oh, okay. That's the art of, that's the title. Okay.
Yep, that's the art of display, showcasing your collection. Where we'll have the boys from Hella Dope on talking about how they display their figures.
Okay, that's right. Sorry.
Yep, and it kind of expands on the diorama piece from the week before. Though the 18th, 25th, somewhere in there, those dates could potentially change just based on potential guests with, like you said, highly articulated over there at the Nameless Toy Company and those folks before the Kickstarter. So these are what we tentatively have on the radar over the next 3 weeks, but we've been consistent. We've been here every week. We appreciate all of you that have been here every week.
So drop a like, hit the subscribe button, hit that little ding-a-ling bell.
Absolutely.
And, awesome. We'll be here every Tuesday. So
we have been.
Yes, we have 5 weeks in a row, brother. 5 weeks in a row.
Yep.
We're doing good.
Absolutely. Episode 37. Ed, what do you got going on the rest of this week before we come back?
I got tomorrow night's my night off of YouTube.
Okay.
Take tomorrow off. Thursday I'll be on with Punk, not on, but modding for Punk on Thursday with a friend. Friday night is Radnom's Craft and Chill, which I'll be modding for him. Starts at midnight on Random Diorama channel. If you want to learn about building dioramas, painting tips, a great small group of guys in the chat. We all share, tips and tricks and stuff like that. No gatekeeping. Radnom's, chills out and just, shows us what he's building out of the depths of his crazy brain. And then Saturday night, of course, is the Clubhouse on Ostradamus Toys. So come on over there and join us. We hang out from usually kick off right around 10 to 10:15 at night on the East Coast. And we go till anywhere from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., depending on how tired we are. And we just hang out and we talk about everything from the traffic to weather to ex-wives and child support and, you know, how to win girls and impress people and, you know, put toys back together and all sorts of stuff. I mean, the topics go from everything. So, and then of course, Sunday I'll be on. No, Sunday is Super Bowl, so there's no Hella Dope Show Sunday. And then Monday back with the Punk on his ramblings. And then Tuesday I'll be back here with you.
Awesome. Yeah. So I don't have anything else going on other than the grind as I've been putting in from the 9 to 5 and then the personal ventures that I'm attempting to successfully bring to fruition. So more coming there shortly, as has been alluded previously. If you didn't pick up on it, start digging because it's there. That said,
it's there.
That said,
play with your toys.
Yeah, play with your toys, not yourself. And then AEO, that's another one for the good guys. And what I would say, it's what I say every week. Stay wonderful.
Classy, San Diego.
Now, but remember this. Let your toys breathe. Do this. Toys on the desk. It's the new habitat. ToyLeet Takeover. We're loving that. It's a stack high in the air where it's at. Everywhere's a playground for Mr. Wonderful. In the office, living room, let them breathe. Action Figs hit the trail through the mud and undersell. It's a ToyLeet life beyond the shelf we prepare. Figures and cents in perfect place with hexes stacked beyond the space. From battle seeds to epic quests, our collection's always at its best. Hexes stacked high in the air where it's at. Everywhere's a playground for Mr. Wonderful. In the office, living room, let them breathe. Action Figs hit the trail through the mud and undersell. It's a ToyLeet life beyond the shelf we prepare. So like, subscribe, and join our crew. Check us on Instagram, we've got news for you. Back the stack, it's where dreams come true. ToyLeet Takeover, we're here for you.